So, hello, brothers and sisters. Definitely a pleasure. Welcome back. Definitely appreciate my subscribers and anybody that views this video, whoever the Lord brings to this video. Uh, but definitely, if you guys can like and subscribe, or pass this video along to anybody that you feel that needs to hear it. It definitely helps with spreading the message. Also, too, as well. I know it's been a while. I see my face and everything, but the Lord's been really, pruning me. This transitional wilderness, isolation, separation type phase it's been a lot, but, you know, keep on with the keep on, right? So, one of the things God brought to me is, like, I was talking to him last night, so he was like, hey, we need to talk. I was like, okay, all right, Lord, what do you have for me? And he said, come. He's like, open up Exodus 9. And I was like, Exodus 9? I was like, all right, that's cool. And, I started reading it, and basically Exodus 9, 9:1, it starts off with, the fifth, and it goes into the sixth, and it goes into the seventh plague. So, with that being said, I was like, okay, Lord, like, what are you trying to tell me with this? And one of the things that he wanted me to talk about in this, like, this will be just like a brief teaching and everything, was God is going to protect us. He protects his children. But, when it's your time to go, it's your time to go, when he calls you home. But also, too, as well, when we are in the wilderness, when we are still in the mindset or the habits, or we're in Egypt, spiritually, God is going to get us out of it. He's going to. He always has a plan. He always has his timing. And one of the things he wanted me to talk about and explain, just from putting on my heart, some of the things that he wanted to talk about, is the separation. It's the separation of the way the world is, and the separation of the old ways. Like, we need to die to our old ways. We need to let go of our old ways, our mental habits, our physical habits, the way we walk around. We need to make a stand, and we need to start making a stand, especially the way the world is right now. We should have always been trying to make a stand, but God brings us along as we are in our journey, But it's getting to a point where you can literally see the spiritual war taking physical shape in our everyday life. In Egypt, I'm sure, Israel, it was brutal, it was harsh, it was painful. It was just, it sucked, being stuck in that situation. And I find it interesting that, the way we look at things, especially here in America, we have it easy, but it's also pioneers that came before us to get us to this point of where we're at. But now we've got people behind the scenes too as well, trying to destroy. And everything's biblical, everything's prophecy, so everything has to come to fruition. The Lord's word never comes back void. But as we are proceeding and taking our steps and being the salt of this earth, we have to start being more bold. We have to start being more not so lackadaisical. Like, a lot of our men out here have become, I don't want to say, I would say nonchalant, soft, more feminine. And it's because of what's going on, the way there's social engineering society. A lot of our women have become more masculine, a lot more authoritative, and we're flipping what God has in order for us. That's not how we're supposed to be. And because the Jezebel spirit is running buck wild, you got the Cosmos spirit running wild, you got Baphomet running wild, you got all kinds of demons running crazy, in Satan's army. And as followers of Christ, we really need to start taking our place and taking up the helm. And one of the things God brought to me was about Moses. So I'm just going to read some of this. I highlighted some pieces and stuff like that. Sorry. But one of the things I thought was crazy is, and I'll put up some inserts here too as well, but 81 in the Strong Concordance means powder. And when I looked it up and I was doing some research, this is what's crazy. All right, so check this out. 9, right? And then 9/1, so it's like September 1st. So something's coming in the month of September. And I was reading how this is like the last month of the year, Eve or Rosh Hashanah. I apologize if I mispronounced that. And then 81. 81, 9. 9 is divisible by 81. That's crazy. And then up here, September 1st, or 9/1 Exodus. And this is supposed to be the last month before it begins a new year in the Jewish calendar. 9 is like a completeness. I'm gonna break some stuff down and put some little pamphlets up and stuff like that and everything, little tidbits and stuff like that. But I thought that was crazy how this is all, and this is my New King James Version book. I love this. It's like a study Bible. It's awesome. It's really great. Something's about to happen in September. God is leading his prodigals, God is leading his women, God is leading his men, and God is leading his children. And he's ushering us into this new year. And things are going to be popping off going into this new year. And God has really been, like, I was thinking about how the fire alarm was going off in one of my other videos. But, a lot of people was like, that fire alarm. And I'm like, I know, I'm sorry, I apologize. But then I started thinking how in one of my videos in the past, how I was talking about the rapture, and the bus was, they had the fire alarm, not the fire alarm, but the school alarm going off saying time to go home. And how I was yelling, time to get on the bus, time to get on the bus, time to get on the bus. And it was like that fire alarm was going off, like, my people wake up, my people wake up, my people wake up, my people wake up. Pay attention, listen, listen how I'm coming to you, listen to what I'm saying, listen how I work in your everyday life, pay attention. And some people are paying attention and some people are not. This upcoming year is about to be big. Whatever the Lord's about to do, whatever's about to go down, I know just from the way he was speaking to me, from September 1st and on, it's going to be popping. I don't know all the stuff he's going to do. I don't know. Only the Lord knows. All we can do is pray, prophesy in part, seek wisdom, hold on to wisdom, discernment. It's very interesting how God communicates, especially to all of us. He's so loving and so gentle, so kind. But when I started reading Exodus again, he brought it back to me. Let me say something. God's about that business. I don't know if y'all have ever watched Marshawn Lynch. And he goes, I'm about that action, boss. reading Exodus 9 showed me God's about that action, boss. So I'm just going to read a few inserts here, and then I want you to understand too as well how God looks after Moses. I'm not going to go through it because we've all read Exodus. If you haven't, definitely recommend reading Exodus. It's such a huge part of how God always references back to Exodus. Okay, so starting off, then the Lord said unto Moses, go in unto Pharaoh and tell him, thus saith the Lord God of the Hebrews, let my people go, that they may serve me. I'm skipping down to 3. Behold, the hand of the Lord is upon thy cattle, which is in the field, upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, upon the sheep. There shall be a very grievous murrain. Now, especially in those days, even now, that's the economy for Egypt. That's the economy. All those animals that I just named, that's a sign of wealth. That's what it is. Remember, we have an economic issue going on right now in America, across the world. We are all being hit with inflation, economic issues, and it almost kind of reminds me of this plague. So if you catch what I'm saying. Now, and the Lord shall sever between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt, and there shall be nothing die of all that is the children of Israel. So that means Israel's going to get taken care of. Egypt is not. There's a separation. God is separating his people. He's been doing this for a while. There's about to be people that are about to learn. If you haven't stayed in your separation, if you've gone on your own guile, if you haven't listened to the Lord, and he's very gracious, he prunes and chastises the ones that he loves. But if you're not listening and taking heed, like, God is actively about to start putting his hands down. That's why, from what he's telling me, what he's been putting in my spirit, I'm sure he's been putting this on a lot of people's spirit. Things are going to be popping off soon. And what he says in this was like ear catching to me, because I'm just like, whoa, like Lord, like, whoa, like, okay, you really are about that action. So it goes, and the Lord appointed a set time. Like I said, I'm not saying like, hail is going to be coming down September 1st or something like that, but like September 1st and on, like, pay attention to what's going on to the world and what the Lord starts doing. Like, his hand is in everything, but I really believe that he's about to start really being in the building and moving on this earth like no other. Moving aggressively. Okay. So it goes, he says he's gonna come and handle Pharaoh the day after, the next day. And the Lord did that thing. Now that's like, when I hear people talking, they're like, man, I did that. Like, and I highlighted this part because it's like, and the Lord did that thing. Like, he said, I'm coming up tomorrow and I'm going to take care of things because y'all are not listening to me. And he did that thing. Boom. He didn't even need to drop the mic. He's telling us he did it. Now, and then it jumps down. I'm jumping down. And Pharaoh sent, and behold, there was not one of the cattle of the Israelites dead. And the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, and he did not let the people go. Like, he was ticked off. He's like, man. He's like, I understand this is going over here, but I still can't believe he really said he wasn't going to touch his children. He wasn't going to touch the Israelites. Okay. And then Lord said unto Moses and unto Aaron, take to you handfuls of ashes of the furnace, and let Moses sprinkle it towards the heaven in the sight of Pharaoh. So he says, go into the presence of my enemies, throw this ash in front of his face, tell him that you're about to catch these boils, you're all about to be sick, and there's nothing you could do about it. And I'm going to do that thing too. And it happens. And of course, Pharaoh, he gets his heart hardened. because he's stubborn, because he doesn't believe in what he's seeing with God. But remember, God reads the hearts of men. Okay. Then this is what was crazy. And this is a notice, like this is God, putting out a notice, like if people are not listening. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how many houses you have, how many cars you have, how much wealth you have, how healthy you are, how influential you are. None of that matters. Because when God comes and stands up to you, there's nothing you can do. And when God sends his people to you, there's nothing you can do to them. This is why this was funny. And this is why this was crazy. Because Egypt is now having an economic collapse. They just lost all their cattle, all their oxen, all their sheep, everything. They're having an economic calamity. Kind of like we're having an economic calamity. And then it says, and the magicians could not stand before Moses because of the boils, for the boil was upon the magicians and upon the Egyptians. God did that thing. Can't even stand up to Moses. Did all that talk and talk. Thought they were walking their walk because they thought they could do anything they wanted. And now Moses came up to them and served them some humble pie. And now they can't even stand up. They've collapsed on the ground in pain because they thought they could step. They thought they could step to the Lord's anointed. It's not a good move. Okay. So, and the Lord said unto Moses, rise up early in the morning and stand before Pharaoh and say unto him, thus saith the Lord, God of the Hebrews, let my people go, that they may serve me. God is very adamant about getting up and doing your due diligence when it comes to his work, doing your purpose, whatever it may be, not to be slack on it, not to be slothful. And when he gives instructions, you need to follow it. And a lot of people are disobedient, myself included. I definitely have fallen in that, that category, and I've definitely been trying to work on it because I've been a fool, 100%. That's why you're seeing me put these videos out every single day putting them out now because God's like, you've been disobedient and you're not listening to me. Put these videos out when I tell you to put them out. He let me know. He gave me a good stern talking to. Like he was not playing. So, sorry about that. I had to tend to my daughter real quick. Okay, so he tells Pharaoh to let him go and stuff like that. So then God's like, hey, I need you to go up on Pharaoh again and let him know that there's about to be a storm and it's coming if you don't let my people go. I'm giving my servant Moses these instructions. He's coming to you and you're still being hard-headed. Okay. But then this is the thing that really stirred my heart. Because you never know how big your purpose is or what souls you're winning or who you're helping and what purposeful work you're doing to help somebody. So it says here on 9:16, and in very deed for this cause have I raised thee up, for to shew in thee my power, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth. Do you know how that's fantastic? He's telling Moses, hey, this is why I raised you up. This is why you went through everything that you've gone through. And you're about to be a representative for my cause. You're obedient, you listen, and now you see the results. Now you see the fruits of your wilderness when you were away for 40 years. This is what I built you up for. This is your purpose. So, anytime you're in a trial, anytime you're in the fire, anytime you're being ridiculed by your friends or your family members, your children, people at work, your boss at work, while you're at school, when things are not going the way you want them to, and all of a sudden your friends start stepping away, your family starts stepping away, your co-workers start stepping away, and you find yourself by yourself in the midst of your trials, God is working on you every single second, every single minute, every single hour, every day, 7 days, 365. Depending on what he's trying to get you to get to or do, he's working with you. He's working on you. He's working in you. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, he didn't have to put that down. Like, he didn't have to have that written. But it just shows you, Moses killed a dude. He murdered somebody. Murdered. Killed. Then he ran off and hid. But during that period of time, God was cooking. God was working in him. Like, hey, God can work with anything. He killed somebody. Like, that doesn't, your conscience, in your mind, and your heart, like, you'll forever day, I killed somebody. But shoot, I'm sure after this experience, seeing what the Lord did in this situation, how he's dropping boils on people, destroying cattle, thunderstorms and hail coming down and dropping on the Egyptians, and they're dying left and right because Pharaoh's being stubborn and won't let them go. Like, I know Moses thinking like, hey, I know I killed one person, but Lord, you coming with that work. Like, you're coming to make sure everybody knows you are not playing. And you don't play, about your children, about your anointed, about your chosen, about your people. Hey, I don't know about you, but that's some serious business right there. That makes you think like, okay, God, all right, okay, let's go. So then, this is the other part that got me. It goes, then he goes and tells Moses, hey, tell all the children, put their cattle, livestock, anything, bring them in the house. And everybody stay in the house, because if you don't, when I send this thunderstorm with this hail and this lightning, if you get caught up, that's on you, because I'm warning you and I'm telling you not to be out when I come around. Flexing. So then on this part, 9:20, it goes, he that feared the word of the Lord. People are not fearing the Lord. That right there. It's like people have forgot. So hopefully everybody that's listening, we all remember every single day. We're humbled because it's by grace. It's by grace. Okay? So, he that feared the word of the Lord among the servants of Pharaoh made his servants and his cattle flee into the house. And he that regarded not the word of the Lord left his servants and his cattle in the field. What you think happened to them? Skirt. And the Lord said unto Moses, stretch forth thine hand toward heaven, that there may be hail in all the land of Egypt upon man and upon beast and upon every herb of the field throughout the land of Egypt. So this is like a full on, if you disobedient, you're gonna get caught up. If you're obedient, you will not. That's the dividing line. That's one of the dividing lines and one of the devices that's going on here. Yeah, my hair looks crazy. I just finished working out, so don't judge me. Love you. All right, so Lord's dropping all that hail and everything. Then he tells him to go up to Pharaoh and says, "Hey, I need you to go up to Pharaoh and tell him to let my people go." But this is what was cool. So only in the land of Goshen, where the children of Israel were, there was no hail. And then and Pharaoh's like, "Hey, please, please, please come back." And God's like, "Go to him." And then Moses said unto him, "As soon as I'm gone without the city, I will spread abroad my hands unto the Lord, and the thunder shall cease. Neither shall there be any more hail, that thou mayest know how that the earth is the Lord's." I want y'all to really think about this and soak this into your spirit. Hail is falling down. Rain is falling down. Lightning's falling down. And Egypt is catching those hands from the Lord. And Moses is walking out. And God is covering him in the storm. You would assume God is covering him if he says, "I will walk out," because this is still going down. As he's walking out until he gets out of the city, they are being struck by lightning, water, hail, everything's being destroyed. But Moses is walking out of the city through all this going on. Like he's walking and all this stuff is dropping down, but the Lord is covering him, making sure nothing happens to him. Even in a storm, covered. Catch it. That's cool. That's so cool. Like he's walking out of Pharaoh's house. All this is coming. Lord's like, "No, won't touch my servant Moses. Won't touch my folks. But y'all gonna catch it." He's covered. In the storm. Literally, if you think about it, Moses is walking in this city, walking out of the city, getting to the end of the city, and all this is going on. And he's not being touched. But everybody else is. That just shows you the power of the Lord. Cattle's being dropped and left and right, dying. Their crops are dying. People are being hit with it outside and dying, or being severely injured. Don't play with the Lord. And Moses went out of the city from Pharaoh and spread abroad his hands unto the Lord. And the thunder and hail ceased, and the rain was not poured upon the earth. Like, obedience is necessary. Listening to the Lord is necessary. Because when the Lord comes down and says, whoever his representative, whoever his servant is, whoever his prophet is, prophetess, whomever, pastor, God is trying to show us, like, come back home. We're protected. If we stay under his wings, we are protected. Even when we're feeling sad and feeling down, or lost a loved one, or lost a dog or a cat, or lost our job, or lost friends, or whatever, God is with us. But we have to be obedient even when all the crazy chaotic stuff is going on, because he will deliver us. Because at the end of Exodus, they are delivered. But it's all in his timing. Because when he says he's about to go do that thing, he does that thing. So I just really, really wanted to put that out there, that God loves us. He loves you. Jesus is always, always rocking with us. I mean, think about the thief, or, sitting on the cross with Jesus. He just believed and had faith. that Jesus said who he said he was. And Jesus looked at him and he could tell in his heart that he truly believed. And he was walking in with Jesus as they both passed. All the crazy stuff that's happening in the world, you got to believe. You got to have faith. And you got to hold on to that, because that's the hope that keeps on going. So just wanted to bring that teaching that the Lord is with us no matter what, but we got to be obedient. You know, he was really highlighting that. And even as Egypt was going through its economic calamity, we are going through an economic calamity. We've gone through the sickness. There's probably going to be some more crazy stuff that they're going to pull the elites to try to make us sick and try to take us out and, you know, bring us down. But we still got to be the salt. So, all right, y'all. Love you. Hope everybody's cool. I got one more video to put out. You know, click, like, subscribe. Please, it helps me out. I definitely appreciate everybody that's commented. I know I've been slow on the uptake, but God's been really, really working on me with stuff to get things going in the certain way that he wants to get things going, and telling me that it's okay to work on these things. Just do it in a godly way. So